Welcome back, everyone. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. And this is going to be a review of Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 2, Far From Home and Far From Real Star Trek. Fake Trek is back. Is the third time a charm? I'm not really sure. Welcome, everyone, to a live review here on Nerdrotic. I know I said it would be on Nerdrotic Live, but I'll just record it here and then import it over there. So you're going to catch a special live episode right here on the main channel that just hit 300,000 subscribers. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. We'll do a celebration live stream sometime soon. Maybe today, maybe this weekend. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to do. Now, there will be a proper review of this entire season in video form when the season wraps up. I'm going to continue doing these live reviews on Thursday morning whenever I can, because I don't care that much about this show. It doesn't enrage me like it used to in the first two seasons. I've kind of just, accepted that Star Trek is dead, and this is what we're going to get from here on out. I made a video on this about 6 months ago that said, this is it. After this, it's going to be dried up, used up. It'll be looked at like Zorro, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, something that might be resurrected sometime in the future, and it won't look anything like its original form. And they'll probably just have to reboot the whole damn franchise at that point. This doesn't fit canonically anywhere into real Star Trek. They don't even try. The bridge is huge and cavernous. The technology doesn't even try to come close. It's all the Jar Jar Abrams aesthetic, which is tired and old at this point. It's a decade old, 11 years old at this point. And, well, if Star Trek Star Trek should be the jewel of CBS. It should be one of the top 3 franchises of all time. Now, it's never going to be Star Wars. I know they tried, but it's just never going to be Star Wars. But it could have stayed Star Trek. But what it is now is CW Fake Trek. So, acceptance is a part of life. And while the Drekkies might think they have won, sure. And your consolation prize is a giant turd. Well, there you go. Well done. So, we're going to get a 4th season. Great. These are short, by the way, and I'm not going to go over every aspect. I only watched this episode a time and a half, and the detailed stuff will be in my videos. And yes, there's still a Picard video currently being made it's going to be very, very, very long. It might be in 2 parts. All right. So one thing we found out, and I'm guessing other YouTubers and other critics found this out too. The reason I'm a little late with this is I rewatched the first episode. Ugh, God, and I can't watch it all at once. It's brutal. So I have to stop every 15 minutes because I'm bored. But we'll start out with on a woke scale from 1 to 10. I would say it was probably a 3 or 4. Not necessarily that woke at all. On an intersectional scale, there are some scenes that are 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And we'll get to those. And that's what kills the show, is what our good friend Robert Meyer Burnett likes to talk about, this word, verisimilitude. And storytelling and characterization. What we get is a mystery box Star Trek filled with shaky cam, ridiculous characters, ridiculous resolutions to ridiculous plot points. So we start out there's no Michael Burnham in this episode. There's no Michael Burnham in this episode. And I have to say, that is a huge plus. It is a massive plus. You see a complete difference in the show when they don't hyper focus on the superhero known as Mikey Spock. And when you were left with the other crew members, when you can finally remember some of their names, I'm 3 seasons in, and I'm pretty sure one of the helmswomen is Dentmer, right? Now, this is a name I should just know automatically. I've seen every episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 1 and Season 2 multiple times, and it just didn't stick in my head because I don't care. See, the name doesn't matter if you don't give a shit. But something happens to her in this episode, so we'll talk about that. But the one thing that I'm sure other people picked out that I missed the first time was there's an autopilot on the Discovery. So the crew members that decided to go with Michael Burnham didn't want her to go alone, and they gave up their lives. And it's 88 of them. Now, not all of them survived what we're about to talk about, but there was 88 of them. 88. I thought there was just a group of people. When Michael Burnham said, I'm leaving, it looked like it was a huddle of about 11 or 12 people maybe. But no, 88 people decided to give up their lives forever so Michael Burnham wouldn't be able to go into the future alone, a future they didn't need to go into because they already had neutralized the artificial intelligence. That wasn't quite an artificial intelligence, but it knew enough that it wanted to be an artificial intelligence. So there's that. Then there's the little nanobots that were in Leland. Leland was represented control. And these little nanobots can take over humans, and I'm assuming they can take over ships as well. But luckily for the Discovery, none of these little nanobots or whatever decided to get into any of the machinery while Leland was walking around the ship freely, fighting people. And also, he was turned into goo by Emperor Georgiou, and I did not mean to rhyme right there. And could one of those nanobots survived and gotten into the ship somewhere while he was in the spore drive? I don't know these things, but they don't care about this shit. And this is the problem that Kurtzman has found himself with. This is the problem that he has walked into, and he didn't think about any of this. He didn't think that Star Trek fans are particular, like the most particular out of any fandom. I don't know, maybe Warhammer 40K, but I'm talking about as far as canon, the science, how ships work, dilithium. Nobody beats Star Trek fans when it comes to like knowing this shit, caring about this shit. There are multiple books written about this stuff, and they go over it like it is religious text. And this is all blasphemous shit. So there's that. We don't know if any of those nanobots got in, and I'll bring that up in a second. So Discovery had an autopilot, and so did the Red Angel suit. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even fucking notice that. And that means they could have gone through now listen, maybe Michael Burnham had to be in the suit to fire, to open up the portal or something. That part I can kind of buy. But after that, when she self-destructed the suit that she absolutely should have kept, she sent it off on its own to fire up, to go through the portal or close the portal. And I'm assuming send the final signal to Spock, right? She wasn't in the suit. And they didn't need to go. And let's forget the fact. Let's just move past the fact that they didn't need to go at all in the first place. So the ship crashes. We start off with them making it through the wormhole. They all got knocked out. Then they woke up. And the ship crashes, and the effects look terrible. And I mean, if you compare this to Generations, a film that I've only seen once because I freaking hate that. It's the only current era Trek that I loathe. I'm sorry, not current era, but real Trek, not the Discovery Trek. So the crash looked like shit. It looked like a video game from 2009. Everybody survives. They're fine, but the ship is heavily damaged. There's no communications. There's no shields, whatever. And they crashed on planet Iceland. Again, and now planet Iceland is apparently Pandora, because as they're crashing, there's a bunch of floating meteors, pieces of ground, and they straight up, there's a scene that looks like Pandora. So it's Iceland, Pandora. Do they explain this? Nah, not really. There is some atmosphere on this planet. There's pockets of atmosphere that Tilly suspects are engineered, so they're able to breathe. All right, so ship crashes. Most everybody's okay. I think they lose 5 or 6 people. Sickbay is in chaos. Detmer, who saved everybody with some maneuver and was able to crash the ship without killing anybody, is a little dazed. And she keeps feeling her, remember she got, I guess her eye injured or something. So she's got a prosthetic device that's, cybernetic. And the first thing I think of is, did Control get into her little eye thing? We know Control is going to pop back up again. We know. And remember, all the dilithium blew up. There was the burn, and we can't move past or we can't rush past the fact that STDs, one of its major plot points is the burn. I think that's funny. I do. So she's woozy. Saru sends her to sickbay by herself because we always send people to sickbay by themselves, which is fine. It turns out she just gets a little thing by the doctor and she's fine, but she doesn't look fine. And she has crew members walking by her all the time going, she doesn't look so good, but they don't say anything after that. They just go, she doesn't look good. That's probably going to come up in the plot later, but the script is asking me not to say anything right now. So, okay. But they're really telling us there's something up with Detmer. And then they don't answer it in the entire episode. We get a reunion between Stamets and Culber. And then, and if I get his name wrong, I don't care. And that whole relationship everything's forced about it, and there's just nothing to it. But Stamets survived getting impaled in the final episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 2, and he needs to get his brains fixed. So there's some neural process he has to go through. I don't know how long the process is. I think it's like really quick. He had to go sit down before he can go back to work. Then we have Jet Reno is there. She hurt her back, so she's sitting down most of the episode. And then eventually Stamets and her have to solve, plot problem. What was it called in Star Trek? I forgot what it was called in Star Trek. Star Trek is, it's something I used to hear on Dr. Demento all the time. I tried shoving a wiener in the warp drive, but it didn't do a bit good. By the by, Mr. Spock, would you have a wee bit of mustard there on the bridge? So yeah, there is Stamets and Jet Reno working on getting the ship back up. Again, there's no communications. We see Georgiou finally. She has pieces of Leland still on her feet because she ground him in the pulp with her boots just to make sure he was dead. And she's freaking out because they can't find Michael Burnham. Everybody's freaking out because they can't find Michael Burnham. They don't know where she is. They don't know when they are. They have no idea. And their priority is the ship. There is a bit of an argument between Saru and Georgiou, because they decide they eventually need to go outside. There is rubidium. There is an element called rubidium that they need that luckily the planet that they crashed on has a bunch of it. But this is right after Saru said, we know we're going to be curious about what's out there, but we need to stay on the ship and fix the ship. So, Georgiou actually brings up a good point, because they decided to take an away team out. They found a settlement. And this is before I guess this was before all the sensors went down on the ship. Tilly was able to figure out that there's a settlement of about 50 people in one of these man-made pockets of atmosphere. So they decide to go out on an away mission. Georgiou brings up that, hey, they might be hostile. It probably isn't a good idea for Saru and Tilly to go, but that's what Saru decides. And he makes Georgiou stay on the ship and help work on it. They take off, and of course, she's going to disobey that order. So yes, they need rubidium. So MacGuffin. They need MacGuffinium, something like that, to go out. And they go out in the settlement, and it's just Tilly and Saru on planet Iceland, which looks like Pandora. And they're on our way to the settlement, and they see somebody. Excuse me. And they see someone, and Saru goes, first contact, although they didn't talk to anybody. So he follows this mysterious person for a little while, and he heads to a building where it looks like a shaft or a cave or something, and he disappears. Saru tells Tilly to trust him. They walk up to the same place, and they disappear, and they end up in a Western bar. because we need to rip off Serenity a little more. You know, we have Book from episode 1, and now we're going to do a space Western. And didn't you know this is how it was going to turn out? They're going 930 years in the future, so they're going to have to amp up all the technology. None of the writers could figure this out. So I knew it would be some kind of cataclysm or something where everybody has digressed. The entire system has digressed. And that's the only way you can really tell this story. And it's really basic bitch. So we find out there's some local miners there, and they've heard of Starfleet, and they've been just waiting around for somebody to come and save them. They have ships, but they have no dilithium, so they're warp capable, but they can't do anything. Of course, that was something else Tilly found out before all the sensors went out in the spaceship, and Tilly susses out. Can we say that anymore? Can we say suss out anymore? That they need dilithium, so she offers it, and they barter a deal, these people in the bar, or this alien race. But then they say, we got to hurry up. You got to run, because there's Zara is coming. Zara, who is the local courier or local warlord, whatever you want to say. And he controls this region. And the settlement showed signs of fight, like somebody had, destroyed all their miners. So they destroyed all their mining equipment and everything. And so they're reliant on the courier. So he has become a warlord. And this is Zara and, God, I can't remember the actor's name. Hell on Wheels? No, I can't remember where he was. So he is going to be coming in at any moment. And so they have this magical device. Remember the magical doohickey bullshit device that they had in Picard that can just fix anything? So it's programmable matter. They have programmable matter, which means they can fix anything except their own ships, and they haven't figured out how to, fly anywhere without dilithium. But they have this magic wand, basically, and it fixes what they needed fixed from the Discovery. They offer dilithium. They make a deal, but the miners say, no, you got to get the hell out of here. There's a ship coming. Zara's going to come and kill us all, and they don't leave. Saru and Tilly don't leave. And then Zara shows up with his henchmen and kills one of the miners slowly. He's got this gun that fires basically a phaser that cooks his chest, and he starts bleeding out of his eyes, and it's a very long and slow death. And then he says, well, I recognize your ship. He said he got the name of the ship, Star Trek Discovery, but you're not in any of our databases. Like, what are you from? But we did notice along with your ship, there was a lot of gravity waves. And it showed signs of time travel, and he figured it out. He figured out they were time travelers. And, they're talking about maybe taking Tilly back and selling her hair and shit like that. Whatever. But then they're eventually rescued by Emperor Georgiou. Shows up, and she disobeyed orders, and she promptly kicks the shit out of 4 henchmen who were armed after being shot 4 times with this gun. Now, does Georgiou have superpowers? I must have missed that part of Star Trek Discovery where Emperor Georgiou has superpowers. Last time I checked, she was Terran. She was human. But she was able to handle what that other miner got killed by, and then she killed 4 of the henchmen with the help of Saru. But they saved the warlord because the script asks for it. And through this, Georgiou does some exposition. She says he's not the only warlord. I would guess that there's he's got competitors, and he's trying to hurry. All this is going on, and we have another plot complication. That was Star Trek warning, plot complication, warning, plot complication. And we have another one. The ice is parasitic, so they have until sundown to fix the Discovery and get the hell out of Dodge, or the ice will eat the ship and everyone in it, and it'll also eat the people. So after this, Zara threatens to kill everyone's family and their kids dying screaming. They decide to just let him go. They just, after murdering all of his henchmen, they let him go. They even give him Tilly's fucking pack and let him walk away. He's all, I won't survive a day out there. So they help him survive. That won't come up later. Whatever. So Georgiou, Saru, Tilly, they all make it back to the ship because magically one of the miners had one of the personal transporters. The whole time he had it. They didn't use it to get out of there. They didn't use it anytime, he couldn't have used it to save his friend. No, he saved it till the very end. Convenient transporting. That's what this show is about. So they all make it back to the ship and they fix everything up in time, and Stamets is better. By the way, there was a whole thing with Stamets I'm just going to skip because I didn't care about. He was crawling through the duct and fixing stuff, and he got a Skype call from his doctor to help him talk his way through his problems because he's still feeling a little woozy. And then, of course, he made it because there's no tension in this episode, and I don't care about the characters at all. But I will say, this wasn't the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery I've ever seen. And you absolutely see a potential for this show without Michael Burnham. When Michael Burnham is not in the show, I pay a little more attention. And you know that they won't rely on Michael Burnham, or Michael Burnham is just going to get them out of this. And Saru was... poor Doug Jones. I think he belongs in Star Trek. I think he absolutely is an actor that belongs in the Star Trek universe. And he's wasted on this. And there's other things like Jeffrey Russo is one of the best television composers out there, period. And he's wasted on this show too. Special effects weren't very good. And the other cast members, they're just forgettable. It's not like they're horrible or anything. It's just they're not extraordinary because they're given absolutely nothing because of this nonsensical writing. Letting the main bad guy go was, after you ruthlessly killed all of his henchmen, is one of the dumber things I've seen. That being said, again, I pay a little more attention without Michael Burnham. And it's because of what I blame the writers completely. Actors do their job, some better than others. They're adult pretenders, but they need stuff to pretend with. And they don't give them a whole lot with the show. So the parasitic ice is bearing down on the Discovery, and they have to get out of there. The sun has gone down and the ship can't get up. Well, of course, that other ship they were warning about showed up. Tractor beams them out, and guess who it is? I won't even give you one guess. It was Michael Burnham. She came and saved him. She had been on planet Iceland, Pandora for a year, waiting for him. So I remember when they were talking about time travel in episode 1, Book and Michael Burnham, they said because of the, tachyons or whatever, or reversing the polarity, that you can come out of a wormhole, but at different times. But I have a question. Mikey Spock closed the wormhole. So how did they come out at a different time? Because she didn't see the ship come out. Now, maybe the ship came out while she was messing around on the planet. No, because she checked and the Discovery had not come out of the wormhole yet. So she closed it. So how did they come out? Now, yes, we're dealing with time travel and timey-wimey and fucking tachyon fields and reversing the polarity. And I don't care. At this point, okay, whatever. So she was waiting for a year. She got some extensions. She got some space extensions. And she saved the ship, and that's where the episode ends. I'm sure I missed a lot of dumb stuff on this, and I don't care. Is it the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery? No. Is it a good episode of television? No. I would give it a... how do you rate Star Trek Discovery? Do you rate it on a normal scale or a Kurtzman Trek scale? So on the Kurtzman Trek scale, I will say 6, 7 out of 10. On the normal television, normal human being watching a story with a beginning, middle, and end, I would give it a 2.5 out of 10. So let's get to you guys. And I want Star Trek to be good, but I also know it will not be good as long as Alex Kurtzman, his name is attached in any way. Now, he didn't write this episode, and you could tell, because there are moments that make sense, and there are moments that show potential. And, I got the same feeling with Titans. I watched Titans, and it was largely written by Akiva Goldsman. But when Jeff Johns would write an episode without Akiva Goldsman, you could see that, like, man, they did some, the casting sucks, but like the Doom Patrol episode was really good. You see there's potential, and what happens is their agenda derails absolutely everything. They had to show a girl kicking ass, and instead of showing Georgiou use some kind of weapon or her brain, they just showed her manhandle people that were a foot taller than her and about 150 pounds heavier. And a couple of these were aliens, so they could have been stronger, like Vulcans. And she just beat the shit out of them, and she's jumping around. She broke a guy's neck doing this. I'm sorry. It takes a little strength, upper body strength, to do that. If it's a 200-pound woman doing that, yes, absolutely, I can believe it. But this is a 90-pound woman, but she knows martial arts. Martial arts are bitchin', dude. They're awesome to look at. As far as like being realistically applied, especially those type of martial arts, and not like grappling or something like that. It's hard to explain that. Like, if you're in a real fight, people aren't gonna wait for you to do your planned attack. They're going to hit you over the head with a pipe. They're going to be heavier than you. They're going to grab you. You're not going to be able to get out of their grip. It's all kinds of shit. But I know it's make-believe TV. But the thing is, you're supposed to make me believe I'm not watching make-believe TV. Ginger Hosley for $5 watched 2 more episodes of The Orville last night with my boyfriend. It's so freaking good, and it made me feel things. Why was I sleeping on it? I don't know. I've been telling you for years that by the way, this review is, I forgot to do this last time because I used to do this for Star Trek Discovery Season 2. This review is not sponsored by The Orville, which is available on Hulu. All 2 seasons. Season 3 is coming out soon. You can get Hulu at, I believe it's like $5 or $6, and for 10 or $11, you can get the commercial-free version. Of course, The Orville is produced by the great Seth MacFarlane and produced by Tom Constantino. A brilliant show. It is the Star Trek you have been asking for, and that's all you need. You don't need to pay for CBS All Access. Go ahead and pay for Hulu and go watch some Orville and have some fun. Jaloja! Twirly Wolf for welcome to the Gandalf level. I appreciate it. Trinoculus P for $5. Gary, if you haven't decided yet, check out the Woodlands, Texas. It's Woodlands, Texas. It's 30 miles north of Houston and 80 miles north of Galveston. And very nice. I haven't decided on anything. I need to do my world tour, which is coming up very, very soon. Stone Dog, you know what? We're almost settled here, and we're about to take off. But thank you. Stone Dog 1971 for $5. Congrats on 300K, Gary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you. I mean, like, it's a brilliant milestone, and I'm grateful. And this has been a hell of a ride. I've been having a lot of fun. I will continue having fun. And as I said in my little video on Twitter, I have to forever remain humble. I am just a speck, a little pimple on YouTube's butt. And Mama Susan might pop that pimple someday, but until then, I'm going to have fun. And it's all because of you guys. Thank you. Phoenix Tangent for $5. Congrats on the milestone. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, and Phoenix Tangent, is good to see you here, my friend. Bird of Prey 5. Kapla, my friend, for $5. Kapla. I think another body count video is coming. So many bodies. Yeah. Wow. There was some ruthless murder in this. 6, right? Well, how many people did they vaporize in episode 1? 10? At least 10. So we're up to 16 to 20 people dead. Yeah, this might be a gunning for Picard. Bird of Prey 5, most definitely do a body count video. And by the way, I will be referring to that video in my Picard review. Jack Beers for $5. And by the way, subscribe to Bird of Prey 5. He's a great guy, a true Star Trek fan, a true nerd. And somebody who leads life to the fullest despite what has happened to him in life. He doesn't claim to be a victim. He is one of the strongest people I've ever seen on this platform, and I'm not kidding. Go check out Bird of Prey 5. He is brave in every sense of the word. There is no way that ship could have crash landed like that without breaking apart. Jack, you're absolutely right. Once again, Burnham saves the day. Congrats on 300,000. Jack Beers, thank you for the $5. And did you think the ship would break up when it crash landed or ran into meteors? It ran into meteors on its way down. It would have been pulverized. I don't care if your ship is made out of adamantium. Everybody inside would have been jelly. I know there's anti-gravity in it's Star Trek and it doesn't really matter, but dude, try. No, never mind. At this point, I'm trying to MS3 TK this whole thing. It's because it's just funny. As soon as I saw Georgiou show up, I'm all, oh, everybody's dead in here. They're all getting their asses kicked. And Michelle Yeoh or Yao, I don't know how to say her last name. I like her. I do. I think she's a great actress, and she's done some really good stuff. And she's much better as the stoic captain. If she was the captain of the Discovery still as Georgiou from episode 1, that was much more believable. Absolutely. She had a presence. She had charisma. But when she's playing Georgiou, I've said it before, it's like when your mom dresses up as a lady of the night and she tries to be all, where are you going, sailor? It's like, and you're like, oh, mom, oh, stop. Chris Persia, the Canadian Wrench for $3.01. Congrats on 301,000 subscribers. 500 by NYE. What's Chris Persia? Uh-oh. We had a toy avalanche. I don't know what fell down behind me, but something fell down. That probably wasn't good. What's NYE, Chris Persia? Tell me in the chat. Sometimes I'm slow on the uptake. But Appleme's Minion. Are you super chatting from a truck? She's a truck driver. Congrats on hitting 300,000. Keep up the awesome work. And you drive safely and you keep America trucking. By the way, yes, Appleme's Minion is a truck driver. She and her dog are making sure you get your food and your supplies through all of this insanity. And we need to be extra grateful to them because the work conditions have been extremely hard on them. It has not been easy to drive into cities that are dangerous, and they keep us supplied. If that breaks up, then we have real problems. So, and it can't be easy. So we appreciate you. JPat for 2 Canadian pesos. A pittance for your pain. Congrats on 300K. It's okay. You know what? Talking to you guys makes me feel all better. Thank you for the 2 Canadian pesos, JPat. Nicholas Horton for £2. Congrats on 300K subs, Gary. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nicholas Horton, longtime friend to this channel. The Zardoz for $5. I hope the show flies into a supernova. They would, but Michael Burnham would save them. She would reverse the polarity of the supernova and create a tachyon field where her Red Angel suit would transport the entire supernova into a small church. Jake D for $30, $30 for 300K. Wish I could toss 300, but no, don't. No, dude. Thank you. Car payments. Keep on rolling, my brother, and thank you for all you do for us in the Fandom Menace. Hashtag the Fandom Menace. Hail the Fandom Menace. Matt G for $3. Thank you. 300K. Hell yes. Hell yes. This, there was moments. I was a little surprised. There was moments where I'm like, wow, this feels almost linear. But they were small moments that were absolutely ruined. But I think you could fix Star Trek. I mean, this is going to happen. But if you fired Alex Kurtzman, Michelle Paradise, Heather Caden, everyone involved with Bad Robot. I don't care if you work there once, sweeping the floor back in 2007. You can't work on Star Trek. If they brought in real writers, Naren Shankar, Ronald D. Moore could fix this show. They could. But CBS won't listen, so we're just going to get more of it. Fine. I hope all the YouTube reviewers enjoy their little shill packages. They sent out some whiskey and some suckers. Yes. In the Tom showed me this for Midnight's Edge. So they sent out a gift pack to certain influencers, and in it were lollipops, suckers. I shit you not. It's almost like they're in on the joke. The Burn STD sending out suckers to their shills. Maybe they know they're making shit, and they're like, but some people will just like it anyway. So why should we try that hard? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why you should try that hard. If you're still making money, if you're making a profit off this, which you're not, I think the CW has ruined everything. The fact is, though, they're not making money off this. These episodes are very expensive. I don't know where the money's going, to be honest with you. But I feel bad for this, but like The Boys, I got some clapback on my opinion on The Boys. I didn't like season 2. Now it's nowhere near as bad as Star Trek Discovery. It's watchable. It's got good characters, and I like season 1 quite a bit, but I didn't like season 2. I got some clapback, and like I'm in the comic book, and I still, I wish I could say different. That's why it was very difficult to review that. Hail, Gary. Congrats on 300K. You more than deserve this for all the videos and what you do for the Fandom Menace. Proud to be a Nerdrotic and Fandom. Proud to be a Nerdrotic and Fandom Menace. Sorry. Onwards to 400K. Well, we'll see about that. Thank you, Mr. Insanity, for $20. If it all ends tomorrow, it was worth it. And thank you for the 20 there, Mr. Insanity. Thank you for what you do. He is a healthcare worker, and he has been burning the candle at both ends. So take care of yourself, man. Hellrats96 for $5. Hail. FYI, dilithium isn't fuel. It's like a quartz in a watch. Yes. It regulates the reaction. It could also be reconstituted in the TNG era. Shortage equals stupid. Yeah. Well, it could be reconstituted in fucking Star Trek Discovery. They had an entire planet with Ice Cream Girl who could do it. And she didn't want to give the technology to the Federation just yet. So, and we discussed that from one of the short treks. So Hellrats96, you are absolutely correct. It's all stupid. And how can most quartz, but not all quartz, blow up all around? So that would be like quartz blowing up here. How exactly does that happen? It would take some kind of magical bullshit, super like resonance beam or some shit that can tune in to just the quartz and just blow it up. But why wouldn't it blow all of it up then? Why is there still some of it left? Oh, because it doesn't matter. Nicholas Horton for £5. So Kurtzman is now ripping off Stargate by using alien technology like the replicators. If I knew enough about Stargate, I could say yes. Aren't they ripping off Andromeda a little bit? Maybe. See, I don't know much about that show either, but I'm certain they are ripping something off. Pandora, for one. Episode 1 taught us something about Book's personality. Not Burnham, because she was high. Episode 2 taught us nothing about anyone. Big waste of time. Yes, Fabio Carrera for $5. That's a very good point. Let's think about this. So in the first episode, what was your character growth for Burnham? Nothing. She was alone. She found Book, and she ended up finding the Federation anyway, and everything she needed was provided to her by book after they went through needless adventures, killing a lot of people. They ended up stealing some dilithium, but honestly, they just needed to find Discovery and they needed to find Starfleet, and they did. And it was kind of useless. But this one was especially useless because they ended up getting saved by a Deus Ex Burnham came in at the end and saved them. So what was the point of everything? Oh, it's to kill an hour, to put content on our streaming services, to try to sell you brand. And you know what? There are people who buy it. Thanks for watching STD so we don't have to. Hope you got my message. Matt Guy, I got your message. I did get your message and will respond, sir. Thank you for the £2. Thank you very much. And you're awesome, Matt. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. This is going on way longer than I thought it would, but we're going to finish up. We'll finish up with these. Butter Biscuit for $5. What's up, Gary? Late to the stream. Hope all is well. All is very well, my friend. It's very well. And thanks, Butter Biscuit, for $5. Danny Chadwick for $4.99. Waiting around for Starfleet to show up for 150 years on would be like people today manning old forts from the British Empire waiting for redcoats. Yes. Absolutely. Hang on just a second. And I'll read that again. Sorry, since I got distracted. I'm easily distracted. Waiting around for Starfleet to show up for 150 years on would be like people today manning old forts from the British Empire waiting for the redcoats. Exactly. Again, Danny Chadwick for $4.99. It's ridiculous. We had the guy in the first episode who waited. He was a third generation guy who waited 40 years for somebody to come save them. Doesn't that kind of sum up the audience that this show was for? Problem being, for £2, if folks can transport in and out, why have door security? Do they have transport inhibitors? I mean, it takes that long to explain it. But they don't think about this stuff. Science fiction is hard. It's why not everyone does it. You're creating a brand new world, and you have to answer questions within that world. And while it's not done perfectly everywhere, that's why not everybody does it. You can't just write us. See, a lot of people say they're writers. But are they truly? You write a thing, so I guess you're generally a writer. But I think it's more specific. I think you have soap opera writers who can create contrived plots that lead you to more contrived plots. Basically, there's an unknown twin that just came out of a coma and slept with your wife. That's a soap opera plot. And somehow they're trying to apply this to Star Trek Discovery, mixing in a little J.J. Abrams mystery box, which is a magic bullshit nothing box. So yeah, that's simply what it is. It's nonsense. And they see it as nonsense. They see Star Trek as absolute nonsense. I don't know why these people care so much. You know that was said in the writer's room for Star Trek Discovery. Hail, Gary, are you still on the cleanse? Here is a contribution to you, Lady Nerdrotic and Nerdrotic Jr., for you to go get tacos to celebrate the recent 300,000 milestone. Remember, never lose a feather. Bama grad, I will save it. I will save the $30. I am on the cleanse. It's very different from the burn. It's very different from the burn. 300 cents for 300K. Congrats. Thank you, Bird of Prey 5. Love you, man. Thanks for the $3. And Bama grad, thank you for the $30. Marvel 2099, a series I actually liked quite a bit, which made a lot more sense than going 930 years in the future in Star Trek. Congrats on 300,000 subscribers and watching Suffering Star Trek Discovery so we do not have to. Thank you for the £30, my friend. Hail. Butter Biscuit for 92 for $5. Never watched Trek a day in my life, but I've always loved your passion and opinion because this sounds terrible. Your sarcasm is perfect too. Why, thank you. I have worked very hard on my sarcasm. I would like to thank Mrs. Nerdrotic, who has wit as sharp as the sharpest razor blade. So I am constantly training my sarcasm with Mrs. Nerdrotic, who is, she's a hairdresser. Come on. Pod Racing, Palpatine for £3.99, 300,000 subscribers. Now that's Pod Racing. Congrats, my friend. Hail, Gary. Congrats on 300,000 milestone. Well done, sir. All the best to you and your family. From Rhett1 for $5. Thank you. We appreciate that. Mrs. Nerdrotic arrives home tonight. She's on her way home. Been gone for almost 2 weeks. Marcus Cato for $1.99. This should buy you half a cup of coffee. Cheers. It will buy me a cup of coffee in some places. I could only have black coffee right now. Black coffee, water, and my little disgusting looking drink that I can have twice a day. Michael Carpenter, thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate it. Just to let you know, though, this cleanse that I do, I'm not trying to shill. This is something. This thing's gone off the rails anyway. So fuck Star Trek. My sponsor in recovery is a men's health physician. So it was almost 4 years ago to the day I went to the doctor. I went to him to get my physical. And we did my physical. He said, yeah, you're looking good, for a smoker, but you are obese. And I went, yeah, what? And, I knew I'd put on a few. I had the dad bod going. I had the comic shop guy bod going, but now I didn't have a comic shop. So it really hit my head. And I'm like, oh, so and 50 was looming. So I said, well, what can I do about it? Besides working out, going to the gym, and you can't just walk and run. Well, you can if you run miles, not on a treadmill on the ground, you can. But if you go to the gym like I do, it doesn't burn it off that fast. You have to actually lift weight and stuff. So he recommended this cleanse called Core Restore. And he said, follow these instructions to the letter. So I said, okay. But being the OCD recovering addict I am, I doubled everything. So every instruction they said, I was going to double it. In other words, do it twice as long. So when they say don't eat for 3 days, I didn't eat for 6. And they said do it for 14 days, I did it for 30. In the first couple of days, I lost 10 pounds. And after a month, I lost 50. Now I'm just doing the cleanse to cleanse because if I felt great, you get you just no salt, no sugar, no starches, and you get used to it. I don't know. I'm not a big foodie, so food is sustenance, and once you get yourself in that mindset, I think by the end of it, I was just eating for me to be ground turkey or a steak. And no potatoes or anything like that. I won't go on, but it worked. But you have to follow the instructions to the letter and, work out for, I would say, a minimum half hour. Just any light workout, half hour to 45 minutes every day for a month. Congrats, Gary. And thanks again for watching this Drek so the rest of us don't have to bleed from our eyes trying to ingest this mess. Yeah, there was bleeding from the eyes in the show, and, it was bad. But, is this season as bad as Star Trek Discovery Season 2? No. That's bad. Is it bad as Doctor Who Series 12? I don't think anything could be that bad. Imagine The Last Jedi going on for episodes. That's what Doctor Who Series 12 was. Thank you, CJ, for the $19.99. I appreciate it. Rogue Villain Media for $5 says, congrats on 300K. You're my hero. You guys are my hero. I am no hero. I'm no role model. No, thanks, Rogue Villain Media. I appreciate it. Nice avatar, by the way. Mr. Q for $5. Congrats on 300K, Gary. Buy a shot of 100 proof and try to erase this STD pain. I can't. Thank you. I'll give it to Mrs. Nerdrotic. I'll take a shot. I will. I'll just bang my head against the wall. That's all I can basically do because I am a grateful recovering addict. But thank you, Mr. Q, for $5. I appreciate you. Fred W. Monzo for $4.99. Congratulations on 300,000 subs. How long did it take to go from 200K to 300K? That's a good question. I don't honestly know. I guess I could look. I want to say it was, when did I hit 200K? It was early this year. So like 8 or 9 months. 8 or 9 months. It just depends. You go through peaks and valleys. Like one, yeah. I think it was 8 or 9 months though. But each one it depends on what you're covering and it depends on what you're doing. And it's going to be very interesting here on YouTube because, generally what I cover is still happening. Thank God. We still have Star Trek coming out and, hopefully something good will come out. I'm kind of going over Netflix to see if there's something I like. I'm just going to finish. I have a review backlog that's going to keep me busy for the next month. So I don't have to, if news pops up, great, but I have 3 things I still need to review that finally I feel like I have time for. I could take the time for. Rockstar, love the show. New sub here. Well, big win for $3. Welcome to Nerdrotic. It's a fun place to be. There's a lot of good people here. I don't know about yours truly, but I'm talking about the chat. Alex Game for $5 Australian. Thoughts on computing forever. He's getting very dark and scary lately on Fourth Industrial Revolution and COOF related stuff. Yeah. Well, Dave Cullen is a good man, and I like him quite a bit. I just spoke with him. We are going to try to do a live stream on a Sunday here sometime before the end of the year. He and I will be talking together. That is some dark stuff that needs to be talked about that gets suppressed and isn't talked about, and I suggest you listen to it because there may be some truth to it. Samurai Squirrel for $5. Recommendations for comics for a teen cousin. I barely know much myself. For a teen cousin? Don't read anything new. A teen cousin. X-Men. You can always read X-Men. Samurai Squirrel, the best way to answer that question is I have to ask you a couple of other questions. I need, like, what is he or she into? Like, as far as movies or television are concerned, and generally I can make a recommendation on that. Just going in cold, I would try God Loves Man Kills by the X-Men, or by Chris Claremont, not by the X-Men. I would recommend for a teenager. God, they're so teenagery. I'll get back to you on that. I need to ask more questions on that one. It's hard to do it cold. I wouldn't recommend something like The Boys. Little too violent for a teenager. But they need something a little more sophisticated too. But older comics are always best for that. Phoenix Tangent for $5. You've convinced me to read The Boys comics. Where should I look for you in the books? I am in issue 23 on the first 3 or 4 pages. No, 2 or 3 pages. 2 or 3 pages. Issue 23, and then I'm on issue 37 on the second page. I'm pretty deep into the story. Hellrats 96 for $5. I think the dilithium shortage is an excuse to validate Spore Drive going forward. Yep. I think they put it aside until the lawsuit was over, and now they can bring it forward, and maybe Discovery will be jumping through timelines or something like that, which would have been a more interesting show if you have this crazy Spore Drive and you basically do Lost in Space, and yeah, you're kind of doing Voyager again, but you're going through different timelines and realities, and you never get back. Like, you can never get back. That's the key. They wanted to make their Star Trek. Now, in the future, they can. But the thing is, they have to be in an alternate future. If they just put this in an alternate universe, that would have fixed most of the criticisms people would have had. It still would have sucked. It still would have been shitty Star Trek. But if you want to make your own universe, you had the Kelvin universe right there. Why didn't you go into it? Well, agenda. They needed to fix the problematic past of Star Trek by making Michael Burnham best and first at everything instead of Kirk. Look at how much they disrespect Kirk. Look at how much they you don't put fucking Kirk in the corner with Star Trek. No, nobody puts Kirk in the corner. I can't tell you if you're saying quartz or quarks, or quartz or quarks. I'm saying quartz, but I could be saying quartz or quarks, or I could be fucking with you right now. Nicholas Horton for £5. The replicators were a nano machine self-replicating enemy in Stargate SG-1. Oh, okay. Well, then, they're going to rip that off. Nicholas Horton, for sure. Stetson's Gold. Thanks for the £5. Stetson's Gold for £5. Your talk on smoking weed too much hit home the other night. Thanks as always, Gar. Yeah. Boy, I just really hope if people watch my live stream from last night, I guess a lot of people liked it, and that's great. Just remember, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, because when you bring up the weed conversation, people go, I think weed should absolutely be legal in all 50 states, and any human being should be able to smoke however much they want. That's the libertarian in me. That is your body. That, people love to bring up choices about your body. That is a personal choice that you get to make, not the state. That being said, just remember that's how I truly feel about that. I'm in recovery, so you're going to know my views on it, that I see the tail end of addiction with some people. Then this doesn't, there are people out there who can casually do everything, and absolutely go ahead. But to say that weed isn't dangerous to some people is absolutely fundamentally untrue. Now, specifically weed, no. But it's to an addict, it can be dangerous for other reasons. If you're not an addict, you don't have anything to worry about, and you're good, and it should be legal. Don Grossman for $4.99. Dr. Gary, with a cure for your STD with a shot of the Orville. Congrats on 300K and onward to 1 million. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Don Grossman. Can you be a doctor and kicked out of 3 high schools? I can have a doctorate in failure, maybe. There you go. No, I think Alex Kurtzman has the doctorate in failure with Star Trek. But Stetson Gold, my statement last night was never to make anybody feel bad or judge or anything like that. Because no, I would say there's a lot of people in recovery who would agree with me that shit should just be legal. And, maybe there should be a little more focus on recovery and mental health, which is one of the bigger flaws in this country. But every country has their flaws. Sassy Marie for $3. Oh, well, thank you. And I forgot the name of this dog, but it's a waving dog. I'm waving back. Thank you for the $3, Sassy. Larry, thank you for the thumbs up super sticker for $1.99. Scottish Nerd for £5 says, congrats on 300,000. You are an international treasure, Gary. All the best to you and yours for the coming adventures in life. Thank you, Scottish Nerd. You are an international treasure. I'm just a bloke, dude. Thank you, though. I appreciate all the kind words and the support from my family. That's been the best part. You guys have been brilliant. It really has helped Mrs. Nerdrotic, who is a true strong female lead. She's not like in a corner in a fetal position, just because her business got taken away by the government, which isn't probably, it's a life-altering event, but she is just a fucking machine. You see why people succeed. Like, sometimes it's just built in, and she's got it. Hail, Gary. Oh boy, this is a big word here, Sarah B. For $3. You're doing it to me again. Felicitations, if that's a word, felicitations on 300,000 subscribers. Maybe you could play your bass for us to celebrate. Thanks for the content, Nerdrotic. One of my favorite channels. Hashtag recovery rocks. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Hashtag cancel fake Trek. Hashtag recall Nancy nephew. Is he? Oh, that's right. Through marriage, Gavin Newsom is a nephew of Nancy Pelosi. What a coincidence. NSA agent for $20. Hello, my friend. I've become a bigger fan of yours since you started covering politics more. One of the most genuine guys I've seen on the tube. And please, can you tell me where I can get that weight loss stuff from? Core Restore. Yes, absolutely. It's expensive. Okay. It's not cheap. If we go to, I have an Amazon shop where and again, I want to preface, I'm not trying to shill anything. You don't have to buy jack squat from this shop. It's just there for my recommendations. Like anytime I recommend something, like Melissa, my wife, or I put something up there. So you do not have to buy anything from there. I am not shilling. That's just where you can get it. So here is the link. I'm putting it in the description right now to my Amazon shop. And NSA agent, yeah, follow the instructions to the T. It's not as painful as you think. When you're not eating for 3 days, all you have to do is go. I can just keep in mind that like I'm not eating forever. I can have some ice cream in a month. I can have a big old steak in about 3 weeks. Like, yeah, just don't worry about it. Easier said than done, though. I know. You probably have more subs than Batwoman has unironic fans at this point, says Vanya Secundas for $5. Maybe. But that show's going to have a lot of unironic or ironic fans, sorry. Thanks to Mahler and Rags, because their interviews make it worth watching. Because Batwoman is bad in a different way than Star Trek Discovery. Like Batwoman is like funny bad. Star Trek Discovery is insulting, offensively bad. But it's rolling into it's just a joke now. And I mean, like reviewing it is such a, nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares enough to hate it. That's why I'm not going to do individual video reviews. I'm just not going to bother. I'd rather save that for The Mandalorian and see if that turns around and that turns into something good. We'll see. I'm sorry. The Cara Dune Show. Hail Gina Carano. Azure Panda. Thank you for the $2. You're number one. Grand Wazoo 42 for £5. Thank you for the super sticker. You're number one. And we're going to wrap this one up. I just want to make sure I got everything. This one, I was only supposed to go a half an hour and I went an hour. You guys. So I want to thank Lady Greymaster, who's doing a great job with what she has given. It's hard to wrangle me around, and she is learning on the fly for producing. And I don't know what a producer means for this channel at all, so we're kind of figuring it out. So I want to thank her. I want to thank Perry Chan for his clips for Friday Night Tights. Now, tune in tomorrow. We got a huge guest. I guess we're not going to have Jeremy tomorrow. I don't know why. I got to talk to Jeremy. He tried to call me a couple days ago. Hope he's okay. But no Jeremy tomorrow. So we're going to have Ryan Cannell filling in. And we have Kurt Metzger on Friday Night Tights. So be sure to tune in at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. We also have Az as well, along with Comics Division and Tom and the whole gang. And we love the support that we've gotten for this show. And I'll be back next Thursday to review another episode of Star Trek Discovery. And I will be live, it looks like Friday mornings before Friday Night Tights. I'll do a quick half-hour review of Mandalorian when it premieres on the 30th, because it's a Friday. Unless it premieres early like it did last time. Last time it premiered at like 11 at night. We'll see. But the Mandalorian is coming. And then, of course, The Expanse is December 15th or 16th. I will be covering every single episode of The Expanse. You want a good fucking sci-fi show? There's your good sci-fi show right there. Expanse, Orville. Stone Dog 1971 says, congrats on 300K. Thank you, my friend. I don't know if I saw that one or not before. All right. So Nicholas R., thank you for the $5.99 Australian. I appreciate you. And Stenson Gold for £5. F it. I'm going to watch the very first Hartnell episode. Love you. Go. Because Hartnell first. As a matter of fact, I'm going to enjoy a little classic Doctor Who. Exozone today, it's on Doomcock's channel, so I don't know yet. Here, I can check. We got some. Any fears that Californians will F up the place they move to as they flee LA? The Donut King for $5. Yes, I mentioned that in my video. I think that is okay. So the current state of Portland and Seattle, that's because of Californians. Those cities were not like they were before, but there was a great migration to Seattle in the late 90s, in the mid 90s, during the grunge bullshit, and in the early 2000s, there was a great migration from San Francisco and LA to Portland. Portland became where all the Alterna kids went. It's where the young go to retire. Pay attention to my Twitter. I'm pretty sure we'll have an Exozone unless Doomcock can't. I can't be on it for too long, but I'll be on it. I'll be on it tonight. All right, so we're going to wrap things up. This is going to be on Nerdrotic Live in a couple of hours. Thanks for participating. Thank you to the Modrotics Problem Being, Perry Chan, Eric K, Mark Lorzeth, Chris Persia, Lady Greymaster for producing. According to Christie's around here too. And Jake D, Nyla Shadow, Mark Lorzeth. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Be good to each other. Remember, not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.